Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up. Tonight, we gonna light it up. Tonight, we gonna light it up. Just like the sunrise, we gonna light it up. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. You know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up. Tonight, we gonna light it up. Tonight, we gonna light it up. Just like the sunrise, we gonna light it up.
Hey everybody, welcome in. Welcome in. Hello, hello, hello. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. I'm back. I'm back on the screen. I feel like I haven't been on the camera in like 4 days or something like that. We did a live last night and then I think I took like 2 or 3 days off. I don't know. It's been crazy, but I'm back. I'm back. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Tanya. This is Titaniumbuilt. We're diving into the Tepe case tonight. So go ahead and buckle up, get your snacks, get your drinks, get all the things you need because we're going to go ahead and get started. Look at how cute my tank top is. It's got a little heart on it. I don't know. Valentine's Day is coming. So I'm all like pinked out and red out. I'm ready for Valentine's Day. But as always, we're here to break down the facts, go through the timelines, documents, all that stuff. And we're going to do some updates. We talk through what we know. So you guys, of course, have your own opinions in the chat and we discuss them. So that's what we're going to do this evening. And hello to everybody. Hey, Ladybug. Hey, Princess. Welcome in. Hey, Kentucky Lucky. Hey, Christy. How you doing? I saw we have like new names in here and I love it so much. I think it's so great. Hey, Lauren. I'm going to be mostly listening. Oh, multitasking. Sounds like me. That sounds like me. I always listen into people's lives and then I end up just doing something else and I'll type something and then I'll walk away. That's my worst thing about me. I haven't, but I will look into it. News locally, the car case. I haven't heard about it. Let me see here. I could type it in here. I'll have to look into that. Thanks, Cole. I will. I'll look into that. Hey, Marcella. How you doing? I said hi to you, Neil, right? I think I did. Hey, Kitsy Cats. Welcome in. Hey, Miss Bree. Hey, Proud Mimi. How you doing? Good evening. Look at your dog. Aw. That dog looks like it could slobber everywhere. Hey, Jen. Hey, Casey. Welcome in. Hey, Jolene. Okay, I think I got everybody. If I missed you, I'm so sorry. Jen, I missed you. But if I did, I'm sorry. Come down to the end of the chat and say, hey, you missed me. If you guys have a milestone, you guys, like, if you're a member, you have a monthly milestone that you can use. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but it's down in the bottom corner, I believe, whenever you hit on the money sign. I think it'll say goal, like, or monthly, like, post or whatever. So you can post your monthly thing. But anyways, I'm about 15 minutes away from Columbus. So I've been up there. We've looked around at the scene. We've walked the scene. We took videos and photos. I went up to Michael Mckee's arraignment. So, and I plan on attending the trial. And there's actually, hey, PKC, somebody reached out to me on Facebook, and they are pretty close to where I live, and they want to go up there as well. So we may just end up, just doing a little, what is it called? When you like carpooling. I couldn't think of it. Okay, I'm super thirsty. I don't know why, but I am. Anyway, if you haven't hit the like button, please do so. I didn't put a pull up for it, but I will. I know I won't do that to you guys. But please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you do. I appreciate the true crime coverage that we give you tonight. And if you're new, and if you're not new, let's just get into tonight's case. So tonight we're going to talk about Michael David Key, Mckee, the 39-year-old former husband of Monique. He has been indicted on multiple aggravated murder charges and aggravated burglary in the deaths of Monique Tepe and her husband, Dr. Spencer Tepe. He pled not guilty at a recent arraignment, which I was at. It literally was 57 seconds long. Could not believe it. It was like, I don't know, it was so short, but ended up doing that. So they have unsealed the affidavits in this case. So now they claim that Mckee allegedly stalked, that's like right in front of my face, stalked the couple's home before the killings. Surveillance footage from early December reportedly shows him on their property, and it was December 6th, actually, while Monique and Spencer are at the, what was it? One of the games for Ohio State, the Big Ten game. So they're at the Big Ten game, minding their own business. And all of a sudden, I don't know how she knew. I think she knew he was there somehow. I don't know if he texted her or what, but she was at that game and she got upset and she left and went back to the hotel. That tells me she was really upset. If she left the game, I mean, those tickets aren't cheap, you know what I mean? Like, and that's like that Ohio State, a lot of people are really big fans. So something must have been pretty big for her to leave. Maybe he said, like, I'm at your home, and took a picture of it and sent it to her. Or maybe he just texted her something. I don't know, but I don't know why she wouldn't show Spencer and then him and her both go back to the hotel. Maybe she was trying to downplay it and be like, it's nothing, it's just he's bothering me again. I don't know. That makes no sense to me, right? That part makes no sense. Well, thank you, Ladybug. Look at that. Best creator, best channel, best chat on YouTube. Member for 25 months. Look at that. 25 months, 2 years. Look at that. Thank you, Ladybug, for being a great mod, friend, member, and supporting of the channel. Everything, all of it. Thank you so much. 25 months is a long time. But we'll go through the affidavits again. But the affidavit also includes claims from friends, from Monique's friends and Spencer's friends, that Mckee was abusive and made threats towards Monique years earlier when they were married. We don't know about now. I'm assuming maybe, maybe now. So tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to go through the legal proceedings. That way we have a better understanding of the way, how the court system works. So when we're reading through like documents and doing all that fun stuff, when I'm breaking down the documents for you guys and we go through the trial proceedings, it'll make more sense to us, like what's going on and what we can, like what's going to happen next, if that makes sense. So buckle up. It'll be a good live, I promise. Hey, CDJ. I don't know why, but I always want to call you by something else. You're the best, Ladybug. And it just ripped everywhere. Oh my gosh, Casey, that sounds like something that sounds like me. That sounds like me. Something would happen to me like that. So let's see, what did I want to start with? I wanted to start with watching this video. So that way you guys will know kind of what's going on if you missed the last couple of days. I doubt you guys have, because most of the people that are, listening to this case, they're really into this case, so they've been following all of it. But I'm going to show it to you anyway. We're going to go through it again just to make sure everyone is clear, has clarification on it. Oh, and I'll give you an update on Nancy Grace too.
This newly unsealed Columbus police affidavit obtained by ABC6 reveals when Monique Tepe and her husband Spencer were watching the Buckeyes in the Big Ten Championship December 6th in Indianapolis with friends, Monique's ex-husband,
I remember watching that game,
39-year-old Michael Mckee, was captured on video on the Tepe's North 4th Street home property, spending hours at the home before leaving. Just 3.5.
Do you think, sorry, I keep interrupting it, but do you think he could have went through that door in the front? I think he could have, but I don't know why that's not very sneaky. But it doesn't have the lock on it like these doors do. It doesn't have the camera. It's, you know what I mean? It's kind of away from the cameras that are in that vicinity. I just don't see why you would, though. Where do you guys think he entered?
The home before leaving. Just 3.5 weeks later, the Tepes found shot to death in their home December 30th. Their young children sleeping a few feet away, unharmed. Mckee arrested in Rockford, Illinois, where he worked as a vascular surgeon. Police say he was captured on security video walking near the Tepes' home around the time of the homicides. A silver SUV belonging to Mckee tracked from near the crime scene to Rockford. During that Big Ten championship game, Spencer telling friends Monique returned to their hotel during the second half because she was upset about something involving her ex-husband. ABC6 asking Columbus Police Chief Elaine Bryant 2 weeks ago if Mckee had been seen in the neighborhood shortly before the murders.
Neighbors had said that they had seen Mckee in the neighborhood and in front of the Tepe home days before the homicide. Can you confirm that?
At this time, we're unable to talk about specific information, but again, when we get additional information, we'll be more happy to share it.
Court documents state McKee's cell phone was left at the Illinois hospital where he worked and showed no activity during a 17-hour window that ended just hours after the Tepes' bodies were discovered in their home.
Now, I wonder, as a surgeon, how many times his phone has been silent for 17 hours. That's a long time. That's way longer than Coburger. That's a long time. 17 hours. That's enough time to drive there, kill them, and drive back. And you'd have plenty of time. You could stop to get gas. You could stop to get a snack if you wanted to. He had plenty of time. It's crazy to me.
This affidavit states early in the investigation, friends and family told police Monique had said Mckee had been abusive and made numerous threats on her life during and after their marriage, including unwanted sex and strangulation. Mckee telling her, quote, he could kill her at any time and would find her and buy the house next to her, and she will always be his wife. Just last week, Mckee pleading not guilty to aggravated murders and burglary charges. He remains locked up in the Franklin County Jail on no bond.
Well, obviously, since he killed her, that's not going to work out, right? She's not going to be his for the rest of his life. That's what I don't understand when it comes to people that murder people, right? When you're going to, in this way, he planned this out. It wasn't like just around the corner and he went and did it. He lives in Chicago. This is an 8-year period of time that had lapsed, and she was still dealing with stuff with him. I just don't understand. I wish that she would have went and got a protection order, which that's just a piece of paper that wouldn't have done shit. But at least it would have been documented more than just the hearsay, which they did. I did look it up, and it said that they could include that in trial, the comments that she had made to her friends. they can consider it a dying declaration, even though like, cause something I was reading about it because she knew like something could happen and she was right. Hey, Crystal. Yeah, well, I'm staying warm. It is all about control, Mandy. Yeah. He was like, you're mine. I just don't think that he knew the code to this house. And is that a code lock? Is it like a code lock that lights up? Or is this like a little door and you open it? I wonder. I'm not sure how they work.
Your side, Steve Levine, ABC 6 News.
Thank you for watching.
But I mean, they do have that Ring doorbell right there. But I'm thinking, okay, so if you're in the back of the house like he was, if you're standing in their back of their house, if you go to the right of it, there are 2 cameras on the back of the garage on that white house, and there's one on the side of it that points like down to the side yard that they both share. So if he were to walk through there, he would have got caught on camera. I don't know if he did, but if he would have taken a left and went through that way to get to their house, and he did go in those Victorian style doors, he wouldn't have been caught as far as I've seen on any camera, because I don't think there's any camera right through there. Those people that live next to them on that side, they don't have cameras, but the people on the right do. So, I mean, I don't know how he would know how to get in there, other than if there was an unlocked window, which would be insanity. It would have to be on the first level. Usually basements don't have windows that open, as far as I know. In any basement I've ever been into, they didn't have windows that opened. It's just because it's like below ground. You know what I mean? Even if you have a little bit of window. If you have seen one, let me know. Hey, Jackie. Type of hidden camera voice recording system. Yeah, he could have. Oh, yeah, he could have put a tracker on their car. Yeah. I mean, it's easy to do. I told you before, my friend did it to her husband. And she tracked his ass too. He was at the bar with his friends, just being a guy, you know, just playing pool with his buddies. It was pretty hilarious. So, wow, I'm seeing shit. Okay, I just thought I saw something. That was crazy. Your basement windows open? They do, Jackie? Wow. Wow, I wonder what your basement looks like. Is it like above ground more? You have basement windows that open? Oh, man. Because I always thought, like, you know, they had to be like just glass. Maybe it's just the ones that my families have done. My dad, my uncle, my cousin. I'm missing someone. My brother. They all have done construction where they've built homes. My dad used to build like $1 million homes. They were beautiful homes. But then he fell off of a roof, but he fell into the second story window. So he was okay. But he was like, after that, he was out. So this is the, make sure your dogs are looking out for you. They are, Glenn, but actually they're not. They're sleeping on the job like they always do. But this is the probable cause affidavit. I don't know if you guys saw this yesterday whenever we did our live. It's not very long. It's just this one page, and then it has like this here. But I'm going to read through it for you guys really quick. And then that way, if you haven't heard it, you have heard it now. Just to let you know, there are words I'm going to use that are just maybe a trigger. So just want to let you know. So summary statement of facts to support a probable cause. And up here, this is the officer and stuff that this is his statement, right? He's the affiant. So on December 30th, 2025 at 9:57 a.m., Columbus Police Patrol officers were dispatched to 1411 North 4th Street on a check on the well-being of a Dr. Spencer Tepe, who had not shown up to work. Officers arrived and found Dr. Tepe and his wife, Monique Tepe, deceased inside, suffering from gunshot wounds. 2 minor children were found inside the home unharmed. Columbus Fire Medic number 7 responded and pronounced both victims deceased at 10:11 a.m. Columbus Homicide Unit Team 2 was advised, responded, and initiated an investigation. Early on in the investigation, detectives were advised by identifiable friends and family of Monique Tepe that Monique had told them her ex-husband, Dr. Michael D. Mckee, had been abusive and had made numerous threats to her life during and after their marriage. An identifiable witness told detectives that Monique Tepe had shared an allegation against Michael Mckee of forced unwanted sex and of strangulation. Another identifiable witness told detectives that Michael D. Mckee had told Monique that he could kill her at any time and would find her and buy the house right next to her, that she would always be his wife. And there, right there, I read it again and I didn't realize the first time. It says right here that he would find her. So that means to me, he didn't know where she was. You know, I think something with that, I don't know, that paperwork that was sent out, I didn't see her address on it, but maybe it did have it on there. I don't know, but he found her. He found her. And she would always be his wife. That is creepy. During the investigation, detectives were able to identify a suspect through neighborhood video surveillance. This suspect was tracked to a vehicle which arrived just prior to the homicides and left shortly after the homicides. Video of this vehicle and very distinct features allowed detectives to identify both a stolen Ohio license as well as an Arizona license being displayed on it at different times. I said this last night, Ashley Buzzard, you know. Further searches showed this vehicle to be associated with a past address of Michael Mckee, as well as his current work address in Rockford, Illinois. Additional video was obtained and showed Mckee in possession of the vehicle prior to and after the homicides. It was an SUV. Detectives also recovered a video of the same suspect entering the curtilage of 1411 North 4th Street on December 6, 2025, and exiting a few hours later when the Tepes were away. Now, I'm wondering right there, right? I'm wondering if he walked through the right side and that camera on that building got him when he was walking. And then I don't know where he went, but he was somewhere for a few hours. I don't know if he broke inside. And someone mentioned last night maybe he did break in and he left a window unlocked, which, I mean, could be. And this was December 6th. So while they're away in Indiana at a game where, you know, probably like stayed over where he should be. So it says the dates are consistent with video recovered of the silver SUV and are consistent with dates with which Michael D. Mckee was not on the schedule at St. Anthony's Hospital. On January 9th, detectives seized the silver SUV bearing the Arizona temporary tag from the lot at St. Anthony's Hospital, Rockford, Illinois, where Michael D. Mckee works. Detectives noticed fresh scrape marks on the window where the sticker had been on the vehicle prior to the homicides, had been hastily removed. Should have got some goog on. During the time of the homicides, Michael Mckee's phone had been left at St. Anthony's Hospital in Rockford, Illinois, and showed no activity for approximately 17 hours from December 29th, 2025 until after 12 p.m. on December 30th, 2025. So could you do that 17 hours without your phone? I should try it. More recently, while Monique and Spencer Tepe were at the Big Ten championship game in Indiana on December 6th with several other couples, Monique went back to the hotel room early in the second half. When identifiable friends asked Spencer why Monique left the game, he told them she was upset about something involving her ex-husband and was going back to the hotel. Like, to me, why didn't we? Gougon's the best, isn't it? I remember when I was working at a boutique, I spilled it in the fitting room, and I thought the manager there, I was the manager of a different store, I was just over there helping her. I thought she was going to like beat me up because her store was like perfect. Sorry about that. So basically, he's a psychopath. I mean, I don't know if he's a psychopath, but he definitely planned this. If allegedly, if he did this, right? They have him on surveillance. They have him. There was bullet casings at the scene. There was 3 9mm bullet casings. They took the bullet casings. They matched it up to one of his guns that he has in his possession. I don't know. That to me, that's a lot, right? I mean, that's a lot against somebody. But there's always going to be someone out there that says he's not guilty. There will. Let me rewind this video. So the next thing I want to show you is some of Spencer and Monique Tempe's friends came out and they did a really short interview today on WBNS 10 TV News, which I love. They're from out of Columbus. So I thought I would show it to you guys. Look at how snowy it is up there. Oh my gosh, I'm not trying to be driving on that kind of roads. My dog's sleeping, sorry.
We do have continuing.
And if you guys don't mind, will you hit the like button for me? It really helps the channel. It helps me out. Hey, Maga Mama. Welcome in. Welcome in or out. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Look at your dog looking all cute. Thanks for $4.99. I really appreciate that. Look at your dog. That's a cute dog. That's a really cute dog. My dogs are cute. My dogs are cute too. I need to show you guys pictures. Thank you so much, Maga Mama.
Continuing coverage tonight, we are learning more about the evidence Columbus police say they have against Michael Mckee in the shooting deaths of his ex-wife, Monique Tepe, and her husband, Spencer.
10 TV's Lacey Crisp explains newly unsealed court affidavits detail allegations against Mckee of abusing Monique.
This affidavit details a history of alleged physical and sexual abuse. Monique Tepe allegedly told friends that she feared Michael Mckee.
Like her aura was just like so bright, so like loving, so inclusive.
Friends describe Monique Tepe as a ray of sunshine, someone who was always thinking of others. Ariana Turner's kids attend the same preschool as Spencer and Monique's two children. They got to be good friends as they navigated pregnancies together.
She was just such a positive person, and she was just like, anytime I've seen her, she always had something positive to say.
Turner tells me she was both brokenhearted and shocked to hear her friend had been killed. According to recently released court affidavits, friends and family members told Columbus police that Monique said her ex-husband, Michael Mckee, had been abusive and had made several threats on her life during and after their marriage. Court records show others told detectives that Mckee was physically and sexually abusive and that Mckee allegedly told Monique he could kill her at any time.
You got doctors, you have nurses, you have all these different type of people out here that can be an abuser. There is no look to be an abuser. You can be sitting next to an abuser and you don't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly Smith is a domestic violence survivor and advocate and works with Columbus Public Health. She explains you never know who may be a domestic violence perpetrator or survivor. Like in Monique's case, she says it's common for domestic violence survivors not to file police reports.
A lot of people don't feel like they can get the help that they need. A lot of people feel like I'm not the right color to get the help that I need. A lot of people.
I'll agree with that. It is hard. I remember I was young. I was like 16. And this girl that was like this girl was like the bully of the town. She would straight walk up in your house and beat your ass. I tell no lies, right? I tell no lies. She was scary as hell. Well, she decided I was her new target. And I was like, what do I do? So me and my friends were like discussing it because I was like, what do I do? Like, I don't fight. Like, look at me. I still don't. I didn't back then and I don't now. And so someone said, get a restraining order. So I went to try to get one, right? I went and I was like shaking. I was crying. I was so upset. And they told me that they couldn't give me one. Basically, they said that she has to do something to me before they could give me a restraining order. I was like, what? So you mean she has to beat my ass first before I get the restraining order? That's pretty much what they said. She never did end up beating me up. She ended up telling people I beat her up, which was great for me. I was like, I'll take it, right? I'll take it. But yeah, just wanted to give you that little story. And my sister-in-law was a domestic violence advocate.
I feel like nobody will believe me. Nobody's going to listen to me.
Smith urges anyone in a domestic violence situation to get help.
Mm-hmm.
There is help.
Don't go to the police station. Go to the Domestic Violence Advocacy Center. Just like you'll see it. You'll know where it's at. It'll be near the courthouse. Go there. I feel like they will help you the most.
Available. Turner says she's going to remember her friend for her beautiful soul.
I'm always going to remember her, just the positive impact. And I know everybody wants to give all this light on how she left, but let's give her flowers for how she was when she was here. Mm-hmm. Both of them, they were amazing people. Let's focus on that.
Mckee has pleaded not guilty. He's being held in a Franklin County jail. In Columbus, Lacey Crisp, 10.
Their kids should be out there playing in that snow, and they should be out there with their coffees watching them. And It's crazy. Right, Jackie? Yeah, sometimes it is a pride thing. Yeah, for sure. Hey, Aries. Aries is tearing up the YouTube streets. Oh, well, we're here for you, Aries. You can come hang out with us anytime. Lauren, I'm not either. I'm thinking that maybe she kind of kept it from him, maybe she thought if she kept ignoring it, it would just like kind of go away. But after 8 years, I don't know how I would feel about that. I don't know what I would do. Oh, geez. Yeah. Good luck, Mckee. Right. You're right. So I did this little, I put together this little presentation before we watched the, there's a prosecutor that came out and talked, but I thought we would go through this little presentation I put together first. We'll go through it really quick so I don't bore you guys. I did it through Canva, so it's not that fancy. It's not that fancy, but I did it. So what happens after you're arrested for double murder? That's what I researched today, and this is what I got. Sorry, my hand, I cut it on my door today. I don't know how I did that, but it hurts. So first, they're going to obviously arrest and have the initial charges. Law enforcement is going to arrest the suspect. Prosecutors are going to file formal charges. 2 counts of murder, possibly with aggravating factors. And he did get the aggravating factors because he had the gun and he had the silencer. The accused is taken into custody or held pending a hearing, which he was taken into custody in Illinois. And then he has an initial appearance, arraignment, which happens pretty quickly, 24 to 72 hours, which they had to extradite him. He did have an arraignment, in Illinois, but then they extradited him back, to Columbus, Ohio. So then, initial appearance, arraignment, like I said, the judge will read the charges. At his appearance in Columbus, he didn't have the judge read it. He was like, you don't need to read that. Like, I didn't know that you could even do that. Just like, it's cool. Don't read it. I don't want to hear it. I think that they should have to hear what they're charged with and what they did. Like, it was so strange to me. But they advised the defendant of their rights. They addressed bond and bail, which his lawyer did that for him. As soon as she walked up, she started talking. The judge didn't even have to say a word because she addressed everything. Don't worry, we're not requesting bond. He is going to say that he's not guilty, and pretty much we'll see you when we see you. So the defendant will enter a plea, guilty, not guilty, sometimes not guilty by reason of insanity, depending on the state law. Preliminary hearing or grand jury will happen. One of the two paths happen here, which they both could happen. You could have a grand jury and have a preliminary hearing. They were going to do that in the Idaho 4 case. Sorry if I'm loud when I drink. I don't mean to be. It's like the ice cubes move around. Prosecutors present enough evidence to show probable cause. Defense can cross-examine the witness at this time. The judge decides if the case moves forward. There's option B, the grand jury indictment, which, okay, so if you do the preliminary hearing, it's kind of like a short trial but everybody can watch. Like, the public can watch and everything. When it's a grand jury, it's all secret. And there's only there's only the prosecutor, the judge, and the grand jury in there. So the defense isn't in there because they're just trying to, give the judge enough evidence to show probable cause to proceed the case, to trial. So then we'll have pre-trial motions and hearings. We'll have a ton of those. This phase could take months or even years. Common motions include suppressing evidence, which that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to suppress anything that they could possibly suppress. Hopefully they obtain, Columbus and Illinois police, they obtained everything, the right way, and nothing was contaminated. Nothing was done wrong. Everything was done by the book because we don't want anything thrown out at all. So they can, like, an illegal search, back confession, all that. They can do a change of venue. Severing charges, trying murder separately. trying to do, one murder at a time or two and two. They'll have mental health evaluations, DNA and forensic challenges. Judge will rule on what can and cannot be used at trial at that point. So then we'll move into the discovery phase, and both sides exchange evidence, policy or police reports, autopsy results, surveillance, phone data, expert witness reports. Defense reviews everything for inconsistencies or rights violations. So basically, everything, basically that the prosecution has, they give over to the defense, and they're like, this is what the evidence we have against your client, giving them a chance to look at it, right? That way they know if they can give, what defense they're going to go with. So then they go into plea negotiations, sometimes optional, but it is common. Prosecutors may offer life without parole instead of death, reduce charges. Victims' families often have input. If no deal is reached, the trial proceeds. Some families have input, but not Idaho 4. Let's just say that. Jury selection, the voir dire process, which I know that you guys have heard that before. A large pool of potential jurors questioned by both sides. The goal is to find unbiased jurors, remove anyone with conflicts or strong opinions. A jury and alternates is seated. So they'll probably have, 14 to 16 altogether, 12 jurors, and then, 4 or 6, alternates, I would say. Just in case someone needs to step in. They may even sequester, I don't know. So then the trial will begin. They will have opening statements. The prosecution will outline the case and theory. The defense will explain why the evidence doesn't prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. That's all the defense don't really have to prove anything, the prosecution does. So the prosecution's case, the witnesses will testify, first responders, detectives, medical examiners, forensic experts, civilians. Physical evidence will be introduced. Defense will cross-examine each witness that the prosecution puts up there. The defense case, the defense may call witnesses, present experts, offer an alibi or alternate suspect or theory, which I'd love to hear. The defendant does not have to testify. Put in the chat if you think, put a 1 in the chat if you think he'll testify. And then put a 2 in the chat if you think that he won't testify. Let me know. 1 if you think he will, 2 if you don't think he will. And then they have rebuttal. Prosecution can respond to the defense's evidence. Closing arguments. Prosecution summarizes why the evidence proves guilt. Defense highlights doubt, inconsistencies, and gaps. You guys don't think so? Oh, no one thinks so? I don't think he will either, probably. They never do. They never, you know what I mean? Like it's not, I feel like it's not that common. I wish he would, right? I want him to, because I want to hear what he has to say. Look at that. 26 months. Look at that. Boom. Everyone have a great evening. That's amazing. Thank you so much for being a member for that long. 26 months and then 25 months for Ladybug. Y'all been with me for a while. You've been putting up with me for a long time. That's what Vincent says. So then they'll have the closing arguments, which I like opening statements. I'm ready. I mean, I will be there. I'll be there for trial, but I'm gonna get front row seat for opening statements, and I'm gonna have some hearing something so I can hear it better. Maybe if I need to, I'll be like, can I get one of them headsets that you guys give out to the defense and the prosecution? Can I get one of those? They'd probably be like, no. But, I need to get something, because when she turns around, it's hard to hear her, but I'll be okay. I'll get notes. We'll be good. Maybe I'll get me a huge camera and I'll set up over by court TV, or maybe I'll just use my phone. I can put in a request to be, wouldn't that be funny if I put in a request for media and they approved it and I walked in there and I'm recording with my iPhone 17, and everyone has these big cameras. That would be funny. I do have a couple of nice cameras, but I wouldn't do that. So then the prosecution will summarize why the evidence proves guilt. Defense highlights doubt, inconsistencies, and gaps. And then the jury instructions and deliberation will start. The judge explains legal definitions of murder, burden of proof, how to evaluate evidence. Jury deliberates in private. Verdicts must be unanimous in most states, which Ohio, you have to be unanimous. I don't even know what state you don't have to be. I should look that up. Then they'll have a verdict, possible outcomes, guilty on all counts, guilty on some counts, not guilty, hung jury, meaning mistrial, meaning they're going to have to, redo the trial. Sentencing phase of guilty, separate sentencing hearing, judge or jury considers aggravating factors, multiple victims, brutality, mitigating factors, mental illness and background. Sentencing may include life without parole, consecutive life sentences, and then the death penalty if applicable in the state, which it is in Ohio, but we haven't used it in a while because we don't have, I think it's like, because we don't have the stuff to do it. I don't know why we're not, executing people right now, which I mean, I'm fine with, I still don't know how I feel about it. But post-trial motions, defense may file motion for new trial, motion to overturn verdict, and then appeals automatic appeal in severe cases, which this is one, focuses on legal errors, not retrying facts that could take years, which is awful for the families. And then this is the last page. Incarceration or further proceedings, defendant enters prison system. In rare cases, sentence modifications, new trials, clemency petitions. But he'll be in prison. I don't know where they're going to send him. They may send him to Lucasville, or they may keep him in Columbus. I know that there's a few prisons, like I know a lot of the prisons in Ohio pretty well because I had a lot of friends that were prison guards at one point in my life. I had like probably 6 or 7, and they all kind of worked at different prisons. So I'm pretty familiar with the prison system here, and it's not good. It's the building that he's in now with his nice, open window or the windows with the sunlight and all of that. If he thinks that's prison, like he better enjoy himself while he's in this jail, because when he gets to prison in Ohio, it's a little different. It's a little different. It's not pleasant. Not at all. Okay. Which one were we on? Okay. So now we're going to go over here and we're going to, listen to this guy. Let me just refresh the page because it's been a while. Oh, I guess he talks to 2 different people. No, he doesn't, I guess. I thought for some reason it was a girl he talked to, but I guess it was a guy. Look at that. Look at me. I didn't even know, and I watched it. I watched like half of it, so okay. So this is a prosecutor, former prosecutor, and he just weighs in on what's going to happen with Michael Mckee and just the case in general. It's pretty long. We'll see what happens. We'll see if we enjoy it. If we don't, we'll move on or something. But thank you guys all for being here. I do appreciate it. If you guys don't mind, take a second, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to grow to 25,000 subscribers. I want to do that before spring, maybe summer. I don't know. Spring. Let's do it before spring. We can do it. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. And let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll be in the chat with you guys.
Sure.
Oh, you ready?
Thank you for joining us for this special conversation here on YouTube today. I'm joined today by former Franklin County Prosecutor Ron O'Brien. He served in the office for more than 20 years. You were the longest serving prosecutor ever in Franklin County. So you know a thing or two about the law.
Yes. So thank you for inviting me to be with you.
So we're talking to you today because we are seeing a new development today in a case we're following very closely, and that is the double homicide of the Tepes that happened 3 weeks ago, Spencer Tepe and his wife, Monique Tepe. And today, about an hour ago, the suspect in those killings, Michael Mckee, the ex-husband of Monique, faced a judge for the very first time here in Franklin County. And before we really get into the details of this hearing, I think we should just give everyone a very basic recap of where this case stands. This is something we have been following for about 3 weeks now. And Michael Mckee is the ex-husband of Monique Tepe, who was killed back on December 30th in her Wineland Park home, along with her current husband, Spencer. Michael Mckee has been charged with 5 counts. They include 4 counts of aggravated murder and 1 count of aggravated burglary. He was arrested in Rockford, Illinois. That's where he was working, and he was living in the Chicago area. And investigators here in Columbus, with Columbus police, were able to track him down to Chicago. He was taken into custody there and just brought back here to Franklin County earlier this week. And that leads us now to today and the first hearing in this case here in Franklin County. It was an arraignment. And as you know, these hearings are often very procedural and very quick.
Right.
This one was certainly both of those things. This lasted roughly a minute and
57 seconds. It was an hour and 15-minute drive for 57 seconds. I was like, you gotta be kidding. I would do it again, though.
The defense in this case entered not guilty pleas to all the charges. But when it came to bond, which is typically
sorry to interrupt, but they entered guilty pleas on his behalf. He didn't even say anything. So he stood silent, in my opinion, just like Brian Koberger. He didn't even sign the paperwork. She did.
Biggest decision that often comes out of these hearings. The defense waived the right to bond in this case. So he will remain behind bars right now. No bond set at all. Why do you think the defense would make that move? Why not ask for a bond at all?
Well, first, the party that conducted the arraignment for the court was Mark Petrucci, who's a magistrate. He's not an elected judge.
Okay.
And judges will, because I guess arraignments are somewhat of a drudgery within the court system, they have their magistrates do arraignments. And
because they don't want to
whatever bond that he might set is subject to an appeal to a judge. And actually, the case will be assigned to a judge now that not guilty pleas have been entered, probably either later today or even Monday. And it'll be assigned to a judge. And whatever bond that he would set today would be subject, as Ms. Mckee said, at the arraignment, she reserved the right to ask for a bond. So what typically happens when you can expect or predict a high bond by the magistrate, where you either have an appeal or ask the judge to reduce it. She just passed on bond and is going to take the issue of bond up once the case is assigned to one of the 17 judges there.
And the she you're referring to is Diane Menashe, who is Michael Mckee's defense attorney, just so folks watching us can understand.
And Diane is a very experienced defense attorney. Has been around for probably 20 plus years, handled very high profile cases, and is a good trial lawyer. And as you know, actually, I had predicted before she was announced as a retained attorney that she might be one of the attorneys that Mckee would select.
Really?
Yeah.
What about her background makes her a good choice, you think?
Well, she's handled a lot of high profile cases and has had success, at least in a number of them, avoiding a death sentence. The defendant was found guilty. I can think of 3 death penalty cases I tried against her. She does a good job. 2 of those 3 were murders of police officers. The Reagan Tokes case that was very highly publicized, OSU student kidnapped, raped, and murdered. She represented him in a 3-week trial down in Common Pleas Court. So she has a very good...
He's not telling us if she won these, though.
Background as a defense attorney, does a good job, is very aggressive in representing her clients. And as I say, she would be one of the top defense attorneys I guessed would be retained in the case, because
I'm telling you, when I saw her, she's a little intimidating. She was sitting there talking to the prosecutor. They were laughing it up. And I'm like, oh, it's like that, right? You know? And then she hugged somebody. I swear she hugged someone because I saw her nails on someone's back, right? And they were black. She had them painted either super dark purple or black. And I was like, oh, she means business. She's wearing all black. She got her nails black. She means business. She looked like she did.
And think as a surgeon, the defendant will qualify for public defender.
Sure, and that's a good point that we should have brought up already. Michael Mckee is a surgeon working there in Chicago. When you talk about the defense attorney, I know another case folks would probably remember her for recently is she was one of the attorneys who helped defend William Husel, which was an indictment that you brought as well, and he was acquitted of the charges in that case in the patient deaths there at Mount Carmel.
Right. He was acquitted. That case was indicted when I was still prosecutor, and then it was tried maybe 2 years later after I had left. And
my aunt works for Mount Carmel.
And there was a dismissal of about half the cases, and the others that they tried were acquittals across the board.
So we'll turn our attention back to this particular case now. And the 5 counts that Michael Mckee faces, as I mentioned, 4 counts of aggravated murder, 1 count of aggravated burglary. Something that stood out to us in this indictment is the fact that all those counts do include a gun specification with a detail that, frankly, I've not seen that often in cases. Is there's a specification in there that a silencer was used on the weapon. 2 questions. What would be the significance of that gun specification being added? Why would you want to do that when you seek an indictment? And also, why reveal the detail about the silencer so early in the investigation with the indictment?
The reason you would do that is to enhance the penalty. The legislature has, going back to 1996, created specifications for violent crimes that are committed with firearms. There's a 1-year gun spec. That means if you commit a burglary or robbery and have a gun but don't waive it or use it in the commission of the crime, you get 1 more mandatory year of sentence tacked on to what you might get otherwise. If you use the gun in the course of the crime, it's a 3-year gun spec. There is a 6-year gun spec that applies if you use a firearm that has a silencer or suppressor on it. And then you also have a spec for an automatic weapon, thinking that if you're committing a crime with firearms using a suppressor to avoid detection, you should be penalized more. And that's what the legislature decided. And you don't often see, as you say, the silencer spec, but apparently one was used in this case. And certainly if you're the prosecutor, you're going to include the silencer spec if you have it.
That's insanity, right? That means when they found the gun, it still had the silencer on it or it was near it. Like, the dumbass kept everything. He kept the... You live where he lives, he can see. You can see when you look out certain windows, the ocean. It's not the ocean, but it's a lake. But it looks like the ocean. All that water, or anywhere else. I mean, because you can't bury anything. It was too, ground's hard. But I mean, you decided to keep it. Like, bro, you're dumb.
So when we look at overall court proceedings and arraignments, which happen at the start of every case, was there anything in this case, the proceeding today, that stood out to you that was unusual, something you didn't expect, or was it all pretty fundamentally basic legal work there in the courtroom today?
Right. I think it was exactly as anyone who has observed the court system or been in it would expect. You have a right to have the indictment read to you. That's always waived because you don't want the judge sitting up on the bench reading 3 pages of legal mumbo jumbo to you.
No, that's not what it is, sir. They don't want to hear what they're being charged with. They don't want the people in the gallery, because there's people there usually sometimes for other cases. This time the cops weren't letting people in that weren't there for that case. It was weird. But normally anybody can come in or whatever. Yeah, no, sir.
5 minutes. So the indictment
he didn't want everyone to be like, oh shit, he killed 2 people supposedly, and there was children in the house, and he was assaulting her, and she was, domestic violence victim, and he snuck there, and he got caught on surveillance. I wouldn't want to hear that neither. I'd say don't read it. I'm good. I read it.
Waived time of service. You have to have 24 hours from the time you're indicted and given a copy of it before you can be required to be arraigned. That's standard that you waive that. And then the only remaining issue is no one pleads guilty in this county to at an arraignment. They don't have, the defense doesn't have discovery yet. The state probably hasn't spent time with the victim yet to find out what is an appropriate plea. So 99.99% of the people plead not guilty at arraignment. And then the real issue that gets addressed at arraignment is bond, which, as we talked about before, was passed on.
Mckee said nothing in court today. Again, it was a brief hearing, but again, that's not unusual. Defendants rarely speak at an arraignment.
Right. The only time I can think they may is on the issue of bond, where the lawyer may ask them, do you have a place to go? Do you have a job? If let out, will you come back to court? Those kind of things are the only couple things that, and it's very, very rare the defendant themselves speaks. Some judges require the defendant themselves to enter the not guilty plea. But at least in this county, the attorneys, whether it's a public defender or private counsel, generally say the defendant enters a not guilty plea.
So we are very early on in this. As I mentioned, December 30th is when these two tragic murders happened, the arrest earlier this month, and now the start of the legal process. I would like to get your insights on how this all could move ahead, and the emphasis there on could, because obviously you are not involved in this case. I want to make that very clear, but with your legal expertise, would you mind if we had a couple more questions about, as we look ahead, what could happen here?
Sure.
I'm curious, if you were still in the prosecutor's office, knowing what you know about this case, where do you start to build your case to seek a conviction?
Well, hopefully it started long ago, shortly after the homicide. It had a fair amount of publicity, as you know. The prosecutor's office should have been working with the police from the get-go on what they had, what they didn't have. There may have been things that they needed legal process for. Before his indictment, before his arrest, they filed a complaint in municipal court, and the complaint was for simple murder rather than aggravated murder. Why that choice was made, I don't know, but they have to prepare an affidavit to support the issuance of the arrest warrant, which was done in this case. So hopefully the prosecutor's office was working with the police all the way back then. And if there was a preparation of the facts for the search warrant in Cook County, even though it would be a search warrant issued in Cook County, the prosecutor here wants to make sure that search warrant's good. And any evidence that's seized, which I understand from the chief, the murder weapon was seized up there. And hopefully it was done with a search warrant. And hopefully the search warrant, the prosecutor's office helped prepare the search warrant and the affidavit for it, because the worst thing that could happen in this case is that any evidence that they seized up there might be suppressed because the search warrant's insufficient. So in this kind of case, the prosecutor should have been up from the get-go involved, helping the police make sure they're building a good, legally sufficient case. And at least from this point forward, they'll be working with Ms. Menashe, who will ask for a couple things, a bill of particulars, which more in detail fleshes out what the charges are, and ask.
And I was telling you that in Ohio, I don't know, because I don't know why they did an affidavit, but usually they do a bill of particulars. That's what they did in Chad Doberman's case too, and that was considered his affidavit.
For discovery, which there's a whole list under the criminal rules of items the prosecution has to give to the defense to prepare for the trial. Any statements that he may have made, any past criminal record he may have, a witness list, lab tests. Obviously, if they seize the gun, what they'll do is ballistics tests on the bullets removed at the autopsy, an autopsy report, 2 of them. All those things the prosecutor will be collecting and providing to the defense, and also reviewing them themselves to make sure that there's nothing more that may need to be done. I think that I saw or heard that shell casings were found at the scene. You can get DNA off of shell casings. So if I put the casings in the clip and
fingerprints,
it was a semi-automatic weapon, and the shells were ejected, then if they're collected at the scene, my DNA from putting the shell in the clip might be detectable. So there's some lab tests that either should have been done, and if not done, the prosecutor will ask to be done in order to build that case.
He might have wore gloves for that. I mean, he's a doctor, right? He wears gloves a lot. He might have wore gloves for that. I don't know if he's that smart. I don't think he is. I think this guy's a dumbass. I think they're going to find his DNA on the shell casings. They'll probably find his fingerprints. They'll find, I think it's just going to be more evidence is going to come out.
What do you think of the evidence so far? You mentioned the weapon that was used. Columbus police have said that they found the weapon that they believe was used in this murder, or these two murders, in Mckee's home, along with a number of other firearms.
Right.
They also say they initially looked at him and began tracking him down, or at least they said they did that because they noticed a car that was seen coming and going from the Wineland Park neighborhood around the time of the killings, and then they ended up tracing that car back to Illinois, linking it to Michael Mckee, and then he is now in custody. So you have, according to police, you have the gun that was used, you have a car that potentially puts him there. There's also video of a person of interest walking near the home. They can't really see that person's face. There's the hoodie on and the person's kind of looking down, so it's not a clear shot of his face, but police or the mayor also have said that they believe that is Michael Mckee. Beyond DNA, is there anything else as a prosecutor you would really like to have to put him there potentially in that scene to get to a conviction?
Well, I think that they have what are flock cameras in the neighborhoods, and that's probably where they picked up his car, picked up his license plate, and traced it back to him. What I would also be looking to find is cell phones, and everybody has a cell phone nowadays.
Sure.
It pings. It pings off of towers that are all around the town, and you.
Do you think he got a burner phone? I mean, 17 hours without a phone, I just don't see it. I know that he knows how to get from Chicago to Columbus. I know that that's probably not a problem, right? But like, I don't know. I just don't see him not having a phone. I feel like he would be like, just in case of emergency, let me buy this burner phone, right? And put minutes on it, which burner phones can be tracked and stuff and traced too.
And triangulate, and there's an expert at the police department that will testify to these kinds of things. You can triangulate where the cell phone has less pinged, and actually, I had a homicide as death penalty case as well out in the east side where we actually were, through this cell phone testimony, able to put him in within 200 yards of the victim's home at or around the time of the homicide. And so if they believe, as I have read, the homicide happened between, say, 2 and 5 a.m.
That's the timeline,
On the 30th, I think I would find out, and you can subpoena the cell phone providers, all three, and if you find out, what kind of cell phone he has, then you focus on them. But that putting him right there with the cell phone evidence, you can literally within 200 yards of the house between those hours pin him down there. And that's one thing that I haven't heard about that I think I would be doing.
Yeah, I haven't heard that either, but that would obviously be something that they could do, and it would be a big piece of evidence if they can.
Well, let me tell you, okay? He didn't have his phone for 17 hours. Left his phone, and he is a surgeon. What if the hospital needed to get a hold of him? Like, can you do that? I'm going to look that up.
Get that. Right. A big question that has not been answered yet, and it's something that everyone seems to always want to know in any case, is the question of a motive. What was the reason for this? Columbus police have described this as a targeted incident, as a situation of domestic violence. It's also a case where there was no forced entry in the home, and the two young children of Spencer and Monique Tepe, 1-year-old and 4-year-old, they were in the home when they were killed. The children are not harmed. They were physically okay. We know that Michael Mckee and Monique were married back in 2015. They divorced not long after that. The divorce was finalized in 2017. By what we've seen in court records, it had the appearance of an amicable divorce. They were divorced because they were not compatible, according to the records that we have seen. I was told a long time ago that jurors like to hear a story. And a motive is always a key part of that story. How crucial do you think determining a motive and presenting a motive at a trial would be in this case?
Well, at least you hit the nail on the head. I have been mystified from the beginning what the motive could be. They've been divorced for 8 years. They didn't have children. They didn't have custody issues. Therefore, they didn't have visitation issues. The financial division of property would have been done 8 years ago. So trying to determine why he would drive from Chicago to Columbus to do these murders was beyond me, and still is somewhat beyond me. I have seen some of the internet sleuths theories.
Oh, they're out there. A lot of people saying all sorts of stuff.
But
I mean, I'm going to say it like it is. This is domestic violence related. He said it himself. If I can't have you, no one can have you. You'll always be my wife. He wanted to take Spencer out probably just as much as he wanted to take Monique out, because Monique loved Spencer. She didn't love him. 7 months in, she got the hell up out of there. She was like, see ya. You can keep everything. I'll even pay you for the engagement ring and the wedding ring. I would have never. You asked me to marry you and you put a ring on my finger. That's a gift. And I ain't giving it back. That's a gift. Point blank, period. So just in case Vincent's listening, it's a gift.
At least the only thing that I have seen that makes some sense is that he's the kind of person that didn't want to see her doing so well and having such a good life, whereas perhaps he
was having
didn't
a shitty
think
one.
he was on an equal par with her. But it just makes no sense to, apart from a double homicide making no sense. But the good news for the prosecution is there's a jury instruction that under Ohio law, the jury would be told is the state need not prove a motive.
That's what to follow up with you with.
That's the state need not prove a motive. And at least he was probably suspect number one from the get-go as the ex-husband, because that's where generally investigators go to clear him or to continue working on them. And so he could be eligible, however, for dumbest criminal of the year for keeping that murder weapon for 10 days after the murder at his own home.
Yeah, and police have said, you mentioned ballistics testing. They said that preliminarily it is linked.
Correct. And so
I wonder how long it took him when the cops were in there to find the gun. I wonder if it was just sitting on the table or something. I'm trying not to laugh, but it's like, this guy is ridiculous. He took two precious people out of the world for what? And then he decided, it's not even like it's like he wanted to get caught. He kept the murder weapon, kept the silencer. He was on surveillance everywhere.
In addition to driving his own
he drove his own car and put fake plates on it. Like that's going to do something.
Car here and to commit the crime. Both of those things, if you're a very smart criminal, you wouldn't do.
So obviously, we should point out, in the justice system in the United States, you are innocent until proven guilty. So the burden of proof is on the prosecution at this point. I know you're not a defense attorney.
Well, I am periodically.
Well, I know you are now, but in the capacity that we're talking to you, and you were not a defense attorney, and you're not attached to this case. But if you were representing Mr. Mckee, police say they have a murder weapon. Police say they have the gun. Police say they have his car in the area. We're talking about potential cell phone evidence.
Right.
How would you start to form a defense? What would you look to build your basis from if this was your case? We don't know what Diane Monash is going to do, but what would Ron O'Brien do?
Well, I think that any defense attorney is going to look at the circumstances of, as I mentioned before, the affidavits filed to get arrest warrants, the affidavit in support of the search warrant that searched his residence, which I understood is where they found the gun. Both of those are legal kind of issues. And the goal, especially with the primary piece of evidence against the defendant, is the handgun, would be to suppress that, as evidence and exclude it and not allow the state to use that as evidence. As you know, under the Fourth Amendment, you have to have a search warrant that establishes "quote unquote" probable cause.
Right.
So I think the first order of business for any attorney would be to review the documents that are on file and which you can obtain from the prosecutor to see if there are any, legal methods to exclude.
Make sure everything was done in the right way.
That's right. And that would be probably, assuming that that's the murder weapon, I don't know what else you would do other than seeking to exclude the evidence. I suppose they would, given the circumstances we already talked about, look into his mental health, history and status as to why he would drive 300 miles to commit a murder of an ex-wife that he's been divorced from 8 years. There may be psychologists, psychiatrists that provide insight on that, and you may be able to argue.
I don't want to hear from no psychologist or psychiatrist about this. No, we've seen him in court. He's all right. He has he might have a small mouth. That's about it. That's the only, may take the roids, but that he'll flush them out of his system. He'll be all right. I just don't want to hear, well, we think he's autistic and maybe he has OCD or something. Like, okay. So does everybody else in America.
Thing about his mental status, providing a defense, that's going to be very...
Everybody in America has anxiety, depression, all of it. So get a better defense, right?
Very, very difficult. And those are the only two avenues that I could foresee.
This case obviously has gotten so much attention, not just here in Central Ohio, but across the country. Yeah. National news, national newspapers, national TV. Yeah. Would you anticipate at all a change of venue request?
Yes, absolutely. Whether it's well taken or not, in a highly publicized case like this, you would ask for a change of venue. And the Ohio Supreme Court has said on a number of occasions that the first order of business is try to select a jury before you grant a change of venue. And then if you bring in the jurors, and you might remember, because you've been here at 6 for a while, the I-270 sniper case.
Sure.
That got massive publicity. And when we brought in the jury on that, we seated a jury, and there were, despite the massive amount of publicity, we were able to seat a jury in that case. The one that I always remember is the bass fisherman who was traveling the country in tournaments, who hadn't heard anything about the case. And as I say, every weekend there were warnings saying, be careful driving on our interstates.
Oh yeah, that was, those warnings were everywhere.
And this fella that didn't know what we were talking about because he was traveling the country.
Wow.
And so he was seated on the jury. And so you have some folks that you in the news business probably don't particularly like, but some people go to their kids' soccer games, they go to church, they go to school, and they pay no attention to what's going on around them. I mean, there are lots of people that do that, believe me.
We're trying to reach those people on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and other places.
So I think that my experience has been, is despite massive publicity, we've been able to seat juries without a change of venue. Having said that, I'm special prosecutor on the last remaining Pike County case involving homicide of 8 people.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's a case I would like to cover on this channel, the Piketon massacre, because that was really that was about 30 minutes from where I grew up, and that shit was crazy. They took they were in trailers. There's 4 trailers. There was 8 people that were killed. There was 5 people that killed them. Another family killed another family. It was crazy. And they took the trailers off the property, even like the cops did, so that they could investigate them without people going through it and stuff. It was insanity. And the sheriff got in trouble for some stuff. Oh, it was nuts. I'll have to put up a poll to see if you guys want to do that case.
Is 1 defendant's remaining to be tried, and the judge in that case, which was unusual because there's already been a trial, some people have also pled guilty. The judge in that case did grant a change of venue without attempting to seek a jury, so it can happen depending on the degree of publicity that may have existed.
Having said all of that, it is high profile. The early evidence is there. Do you think that there's a decent shot that this will actually be tried, or would you anticipate a plea?
Well, I would say, given the nature of the crime and the attention to it, the state is not easily in a position of offering much of a incentive to the defendant to enter a plea. It probably would be an offer of life without parole, which most defendants don't like to enter that kind of a plea unless they're looking at death sentence as a possibility, which isn't indicted as a death penalty case, even though it's eligible.
I was going to ask you about that.
It would have been eligible both based on the aggravated burglary and then based on the felony murder statute and 2 or more.
I think they didn't do the death penalty because they haven't really used it, and it's harder to get a conviction with a death penalty hooked onto it, right? And I think that right now they want to get a conviction.
More victims, those are 2 death penalty specifications under Ohio law, and it could have been indicted as a death penalty case. And
but it was not indicted that way, to be clear.
For whatever reason, it was not indicted as a death penalty case. So the incentive to avoid a death sentence by pleading to life without parole is not there. And so at least if a plea is to be worked out in these kind of cases, what you would do is try and find a point at which the defendant thinks he might live long enough in prison to be eligible for parole. I just think that if you give him, a 30 to life on each of them consecutive, that'd be a 60 to life. I'm not sure how old he is, probably mid-30s.
He's 39, I think.
39.
Okay. What
Younger than me.
most experienced defense attorneys say is you want to give the defendant some hope that he may someday get out of prison on a case like this. I just don't see the state offering anything other than life without parole. And again, there's no incentive for the defendant to take that kind of plea offer.
We're early, as I've said multiple times in this process. I mean, when would you anticipate a trial if it does happen? Are we talking years away? Because these things seem to get continued quite a bit, but within a year?
I would guess a year. On average, when I was there, most serious homicides, including death penalty cases, were tried within a year to a year and a half.
Maybe they could try them a little early, so it's not like freezing outside, because we want to go every day to court. And don't think I won't get that front row parking spot again, because I will.
The time the defendant was arrested or indicted. And so I would say sometime in the first quarter of 2027, this likely would go forward. The judge will set a schedule of when certain things have to happen, when the defense has to ask for discovery, when the state has to give discovery, when any expert witness reports have to be presented. The judge will set a pretrial, set a date for Ms. Menashe to file motions, set a date for the state to respond, and then a date to have witnesses come in and talk about.
And we'll be getting all those documents as well. I put a FOIA in last night, so they should give it to me. I don't see why not.
Whatever information is necessary for the record on the motions, and then set a final pretrial and then a trial date. And as I say, likely that schedule will be set out early on.
You have so many years in a courtroom. What haven't I asked you that you think we should have talked about today?
You're very thorough, Mike.
Oh, good. I'm trying.
And I really can't think of anything in addition to ask. The main thing that I think most of the viewers, as well as those that paid attention, is that question you ask about motive. I mean, what was this guy's motive? And it just kind of escapes normal circumstances.
Well, that's something we will continue to ask police about, investigators about, the lawyers involved about, and we'll do our best to try to cover it, because this is the beginning and there's a long road ahead before this all wraps up. So Ron O'Brien, thank you so much for joining us today.
Appreciate it.
We greatly appreciate you, and we will keep you updated as all these developments continue to occur. Stay with us at ABC6 for future updates on this investigation into the Tepe homicides from December 30th of last year.
He said it like it was a long time ago. Well, I didn't know we had a paralegal in here. Oh, let me put myself up here a little more. And wow. And then I saw you guys were talking about the Oklahoma case. Yeah, they are all slowly pleading guilty, except for Tad. And I think Cole is still holding out. Them two assholes are still holding out. Sorry about my language. I'm on one tonight, aren't I? I'm probably on one because I put in a... Okay, so I might have been mean a little bit but I am very invested in the Madalena Kojikari case. And if anyone knows me, they know that that's the case that I need answers to, right? But I put in a FOIA and they've already released documents, search warrants. I mean, I have them right here on my search bar. They're right there up there, ready for whenever I need to see them. And so I did a FOIA and they told me that it was an open and active investigation, that they couldn't give me anything. And so I wrote them back because I was pissed. And I said, what's open and active about it? Not that they'll tell me, but it's like her mom went to Moldova. Madalena, she's in Moldova. I know she is. Like, I know that little girl is. In my heart, in my soul, in my whole body, I know that's where she is. But they're just going to keep an open investigation for what? Until when? For what reason? Like, I don't get it. Oh, Mckee, look at that member for 9 months. This is a nice channel with nice people. Oh, we try to be, you know, we try to be. We get some stragglers in here though every once in a while. And look at Mckee's dog. Oh, Elizabeth says, I live in Southern Indiana. Pike County case was so evil. It's mean down in that area. Yeah. We used to go party down there at our friend's house because our friend's mom was never home. We just did. And we were always go to their house. And I remember it was in Pike County. And that's the only time I ever was in Pike County other than to drive through it, because Route 23 goes from Columbus. It goes from like probably Cleveland. I don't know, but I know it goes from Columbus to like Portsmouth, which is the tip of Ohio. Like, it goes all the way through. I think you could take that way if you're going to like the beach or something. I don't know. I've taken that way before, but it's the people down there it's just another type of people. And that case is, that case is very interesting. Basically, the Piketon massacre there was 8 family members that were murdered inside of their trailers or their homes in the middle of the night. For 6 weeks, I think it was 6 weeks afterwards, they didn't know who did this. I mean, it took them forever. I think it was longer than that. Well, they come to find out it was another family. And the connection was their son had a baby with one of the girls that they killed, one of the daughters. But they done killed the whole family. So it was over like custody. Because and the mom bought like certain special shoes for them to wear from like Walmart. They found the impressions, or they found the shoes. She had burner phones too, I believe. They found the burner phones. It's a crazy case. We should cover it. It's very, very interesting. It's definitely worth a watch. If not, I can always put it on Patreon or something and just put it under free. Hey, Krishna, how are you? Welcome in. And we don't know when his next court date is. We haven't figured that out yet, I guess, since it snowed. I heard today that Columbus was still on a level 3. I don't know how that's possible. Our roads are fine. Just our parking lot is a little crazy, you know. Vincent's pulled out like 3 different cars. He pulled out a FedEx truck with 2 ladies because it was 2 ladies and he wasn't going to leave them, you know, out there to suffer. Then a DHL guy. He helped the neighbor next to us with his big truck. He's just been helping everybody. He was out there shoveling for everybody. I'm just like, look at you go. Look at you go. He should be apartment maintenance. You remember that case? Yeah. I do believe so. I know that I'm supposed to get all of the alerts whenever something happens, but I don't know if I'm on the docket alert. I wonder if I just go to the clerk of courts. I'm still learning how to sleuth like you guys. Some of y'all, some of y'all be sleuthers. Like, I know one girl, she comes in here every once in a while. She has gotten information that I don't even know how she managed to do it. I'm like, girl, how did you do that? Like, other country stuff. Like, how? But she just does it, and I love that. Oh, e-courts. Okay. Okay. Let me put that in my thing because I think that I did do it. I just don't remember. And I want to make sure, you know. Maybe it'll let me do that one here. Oh, that's for New York, but we'll do it for Ohio. I actually wanted, when I was there, I should have just went in. Hey, Lee, I should have just like went in and stuff. Sleuthy, she's pretty good at sleuthing. She is. I haven't seen her in a while. I think it's because she covered Karen Reed, and I didn't cover Karen Reed. I was not going to get in that mess. That, not me. Sorry. How you doing, Lee? Are you having a good morning? We just got done with the live, so I'm just looking at my background. It's pretty bright, but I like it. You still can't see much. You can't even see my dogs. They're over on this side tonight. They're hiding. They're hiding together. Oh my God, they look so damn cute. Let me take a picture of them. Oh my gosh, look at them. Okay, let me send this to myself. The one dog has her leg like straight out. She's the big one too. Okay. Look at these two. They're so cute. Oh, they're just being big. Look at Mia with her little paw, and her face is like in her paw. Those are my girls. Those are my babies. They should be fired because they both sleep on the job. You know, they sleep on the job all the time. They don't care. They're like, we're tired. It's cute. I have another bed right here for them, same size. But Araya, I'll get her to come in here, the brown one, and it takes me a while to get her to come in because she is this dog can like be aggressive if she wants to be. When she was so protective, she just is crazy protective over me. But when it comes to Mia, she's terrified of her. And Mia's like the scaredy cat. Like she's so scared of everything. But she'll like make these growling noises. Mia will. She doesn't even know what she's doing. I'm like, she has no idea she's growling. I don't think, because she doesn't like. She's never been aggressive. I don't think she knows even how to be aggressive. Like she's just cute as button. Oh, thank you, Lauren. It's nice in here. Vincent's been enjoying it when he comes in for work. He like puts his little light on and he likes to smell the candle back here. He's like, "What is that candle?" I'm like, it's pumpkin something. So we're still in fall over here. And then last night I was doing an order. I was putting an order together and I dropped the lotions that I have like in their glass. Oh, I broke 2 of them. Vincent said he'll use them. I'm like, it has glass in it. Don't even try it. He's trying it. Thank you, Monchichi, for the $4.99. She said, this guy is so scary. I don't think he cares what happens to him. I don't think he really does either. He doesn't seem like I don't know what emotion you'd really put on if it was me, but I guess he knows he knows what he did, right? Just like Koberger. That's why. And when they went into court, they weren't like really worried. They didn't look worried. They didn't sound worried. Their voice didn't shake, which we haven't heard from him yet, but we've heard from Koberger. There was no inflection. Like if that was me, I would be throwing myself to the mercy of the court saying, I didn't do this, please. I didn't do that. But I wouldn't do that. And he seems like there's nothing there. Well, and you would think, right? You would think that he would have, just planned this out a little bit, thought about this a little bit more. I mean, he thought about it for 8 years, right? He thought about doing something for 8 years, probably. I mean, this has been going on for 8 years. He couldn't make a better plan. Like Rex Heuermann, like he had like a list and everything, right? This big ogre guy, he couldn't make a list of things not to do. and things to do. I mean, I'm glad he didn't because, we're here now, but very weird. You did see me on TV, True Crime Girl. I was I was in the back row. I had my head down because I was taking notes. And I was like, shit, they got me with my head down. They probably think I'm sleeping. But I wasn't. But I wasn't. I swear I was taking notes. And then it was over. 57 seconds. And then the homeless guy knocking on my window, asking me for a nickel, all that. I mean, it doesn't get any better. You got to watch my live streams, especially when they're the ones at the courthouse. They're unhinged. The Columbus ones are unhinged. So yeah, I heard about that, Casey, but I guess it's been debunked by somebody. I saw it on X. I forget who it was that debunked it. It's somebody credible. And they said that they got a hold of the prison and the prison was like, no, he's not going anywhere. So I don't know. Right. They wouldn't just move him because he gets on their nerves. Like, you know what I mean? Like, every prisoner in the prison gets on their nerves. Like, they're all wanting something. They're all asking the guards for an extra pencil, an extra piece of paper. Can I go here? Can I go there? Things like that. No, yeah. I just don't think. I mean, I don't think him being a crybaby or him being, in prison, they're just going to say, shut up, dude, and just ignore him. I don't know. I just don't think that, the prison would move him because of that. Like, just because he said something about Peru, talking to him through the vents. I mean, that's what they do. They talk to people through the vents. So I forget who it was. I'm like, oh, let me go to X and see if I can pull it up. If I could put it, maybe put in Brian Koberger. Okay, not there. Oh, this is okay, let's go to latest. No, where do I see it? I'll have to find it. I don't know where I saw it. I saw it on X, but it was someone credible. Like, I was like, oh, wow. I hadn't heard about it. And they had a picture of what the jail or prison wrote back to them or whatever. But now I don't see it on here. Maybe I saw it on here. Shit, it could have been Facebook. Nothing. I mean, only thing that comes up on my Facebook is just like stuff for the groups. I don't see it on here. Oh, I have to look for it though. But I did get a hold of Nancy Grace. Well, I got a hold of somebody with Nancy Grace's team. Remember last night when we did the live? It said that there was the baby bed, like the little boy was in a cage. And I'm like, we're on our live, and I'm like, wait a minute, y'all want to watch this, Nancy Grace, because it hasn't come out yet, and I don't think it still has come out. I don't think they put it out today either. So it's on my page from last night if anyone wants to watch it. She hasn't put it out yet, except for on her podcast. But I went over to X because I was really upset about what they put. So this is what I wrote. I said, at Nancy Grace, can you explain why this was in your description for the Tepe murders? I listened to the podcast and nowhere in there do you talk about this. And in parentheses, I put the quote, by the time a friend arrives at the Tepe home, the couple's infant son, Beckham, had been stuck in his cage, hungry, crying for hours. Now, how do we know he was in his crib? Because she puts crib. I'll have to show you. And I was like, thank you, because I've been down there and I've been working this case, as I put, thanks for clarification. But they put crib, but they still haven't changed it on the podcast. It's like, that should be important. I guess, I guess a crib could be called a cage, but if that doesn't sound right to me. I want to go put my kid in this cage. No, I don't have babies, but I wouldn't say, I wouldn't say cage. I wouldn't think. I'd say crib. Let me go put my baby in his bassinet. Let me go put the baby in a crib. I don't know, but she did answer me back. Hopefully she's like, come and hang out because we love you, Tanya. I should have been like, me and my life-size Nancy cardboard cutout will be there. What's the temperature, Michael has? Let's see. Oh, let's see. 0. Wow. Okay. It says 0. Yep. It's not even a temperature. It needs to be corrected. Yeah. Oh, is it level 2 or 1 now? That's good, Lauren, because the roads were so bad. We got a lot of snow. We really did. We got like a foot or more. And then I heard that there might be more snow this weekend. I guess like Wednesday, Thursday, 50% and 40%, like next week. And it's just going to be cold. I don't like it cold. My little bones do not like the cold. Like my metal does not like the cold. My prosthetic eyeball does not like the cold. It just doesn't. It can't handle it. Like my eye feels like it freezes. It's because I can't produce it's hard for me to produce like tears, even though my eye's always watering. It's very weird. I don't get it. But so this eye will like freeze up and it feels like glass when I like open and close it. It's a weird feeling. It doesn't feel good. And then my legs just feel like someone hit me with like a bat. And I'm just like, for real? So I don't like the cold. I stay inside when it gets cold. Just stay in here. Or I just wear like a bunch of clothes when I go out. And then that helps. Now that I'm getting older, I don't get as cold as I used to when I was younger. I used to get really cold all the time. But earlier, I told Vince to turn the heat off, and he got cold, and I was like, I'm good. It was like 60-some degrees in here, and I was like, I'm good. So I am going to do, I hate that I don't have this room for like during the day, but maybe I'll come over here. Maybe I'll do a live on my other channel tomorrow, and I'll just come over and grab the stuff I want to do. Because there's 2 lives I want to do. I want to do one. Mostly we're just going to chit chat, and hang out and just like, shoot the shit. But I have some products that I've like tested, that I've done, like that I've bought again, some that I'm not going to buy again. And I was going to show you guys those. And then also on a different live, I went to, like the hand sanitizer that's super popular now, that Touchland. I have some right here. If I can get it. Okay. Like, so this one right here. Well, I was like, well, what's the difference between this one, that's $10, and then they had some at Dollar Tree, and I was amazed because they were like so popular at Dollar Tree, but they were never in stock, so I could never try it out. So I got 2 of those. They're in the closet, and then I got those were $1.25 or $1.50. Whatever. I'll have to check the receipt. And then I got some from Target that were $4.99. So I thought we could test them and see which one is the best. I think they're all the same amount of alcohol in there. So that's a bummer. I don't think the $10 one's going to matter. This one's the Owlet one. I swear this stuff like evaporates because I didn't use this much. I don't ever use this one in here because I always forget it's over here. I don't know. I put it in my little thing with my lip gloss if it'll go in. Just put it there. It'll be fine. Oh yeah, I've got metal everywhere. I actually brushed off our balcony today. It had like, I don't know, 14 inches of snow or something crazy on there. It was a bunch. My little broom, I mean, it was a good broom. It was not like really pushing it, but I was trying. 6 degrees, Monchi, that's cold. 37 degrees, PKC is like, yeah. She's like, we're just over here wearing shorts with sandals and everything. That's how it is in Ohio anyway. The guys do that. 11 degrees where you are. Oh, what'd I do? I'm like, I lost you guys. Oh man, everyone, it's so cold everywhere. Heat wave, 12 degrees in New York. I'd like to live in New York. not now, I guess, but when I was younger, I wouldn't have mind living in the city like that. I lived in Columbus for a little while. That's the city, but not like New York, where you live in a really tiny little spot and that's just like how you do things. Because we could do that. Me and Vincent, our first apartment was 500 square feet. 500. That's where you can't even hide from each other. It was terrible. We didn't live there long, but we did. And then we lived somewhere even smaller after that. And then we moved here, which is like a nice size. This has been a real winter. You're right, Ladybug. We actually got a real winter this year. Remember, 3 years ago, we had a winter like this. It was negative 35 degrees. I remember because I went out and I was looking for those twin boys that were kidnapped in the car where the mom was walking into the pizza place and the little boys were kidnapped. And I couldn't get them out of my head. Like, it was right around Christmas time. And I'd get off my live and I couldn't even sleep. It was so bad. Like, I was like, I have to go out and look because it was in my area. The girl that took them and they like had put it on the news that they came into like towards my area. And I went right over to that area and was like putting flyers everywhere, like just anywhere I could. They ended up getting the babies back. So I don't know if we can ship to Australia. I'll have to look. Let me put that in my notes. I bet I can. It might just cost a lot. I don't know how much it would cost. Because I'd have to do I do the shipping after the order's placed. But if you feel comfortable, you could always send me your address and I could put it in the shipping thing to see if it'll even allow me to ship it over there. But I'll look online. Yeah, I need to get some new stuff. Oh my gosh, I need stuff so bad. Somebody placed an order and I forget who it was. I should have remembered, but you're going to love your stuff. Like, oh my goodness, they got the 2-piece. I think there's one left. That's like this brown 2-piece outfit. It will keep you warm. It'll keep you so warm. You will not even need a jacket. Like, I love that outfit. I have it myself, but I can't wear it right now because it's a small and I'm a medium. And that was a medium that I sold. I was like, dang, I should have kept that for myself. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. I wouldn't keep it. I don't keep anything actually for myself at my store when I get things. I do like things though. I love things, right? I'll model them or whatever for pictures. If you get on my Facebook, you'll see pictures, or my Instagram. I'll have a lot of pictures on Poppy and Ari. I just haven't posted in a while because this room used to be my store. So all of my reels and my videos and my TikToks and all of my stuff that I did was in here like that. And I had clothing racks, special wooden ones, which I got rid of those because we decided to put this room into me in a studio. So yeah, so now it's a studio, but I don't mind it being a studio. I can always, take pictures of the new stuff. I can always make it look cute. Do it lay it on the floor and do pictures above and stuff. So she got married in the blizzard of 93. You know what, Tina, I have kind of, but in a way I haven't. But who has metal in their body? Courtney has a ton in her neck. I think a lot of people do. I think a lot of people find my channel because they might be putting in titanium, for rods or titanium something. And then they come here. Because that's happened before. There was someone in the chat. They were they're like, how did I get here? They were like, I was looking for the titanium song by David Guerra or whatever his name is. And she was like, I don't even watch true crime. But then she's like, I'll stay though, because you guys are funny and nice. And it was funny because she was trying to find something different and she came across my page. So I guess that's good. In your hips. Oh, I hope I never have to get any metal in my back, which I have to see the spine surgeon here in a couple weeks. They scheduled it. I just want to see if the curves have curved more. I don't know if that happens. It could. I don't know. You have metal in your lung, Elizabeth? Okay, that takes the cake. You literally have a metal lung, like an iron lung. Wow. How did you get metal in your lung? What the heavens? I've had my lung collapse and they had to pump me back up with the tube. Oh my goodness. I'm over here breathing heavy. Like, does it hurt? I feel like I can't complain about all the metal in my body now that you said you have metal in your lung. I think that I'm just like, nope, not anymore. Yeah, how does that work? I keep breathing like, because I remember when I punctured my lung and it collapsed, and I would not wish that on my worst enemy. No way in hell. I couldn't breathe. And I had this neck brace on because they didn't want me to open my mouth wide because that surgeon hadn't came in yet to do my mouth, like wired my mouth shut yet, which I didn't even know that was happening. That's another story. So I'm going like trying to breathe. No metal in me. I'm not even factious out here dodging. I'm raw dogging life out. Lauren, that's so funny. She's like, I'm just living to live. That's so crazy. Oh my gosh. You got an infection, they had to remove it. Oh. Courtney, God, I love this chat. You had a collapsed lung and they stapled it to keep it sealed. Oh my goodness. So like it would, I don't know why. I have questions now. YOLO. I do. I have questions about mine. How was mine able, like they put the tube in and they pumped it back up, and it's only, I only remember the tube being in there a few days, maybe less, maybe a little more. I was on Dilaudid, so they had me drugged up, so it could have been a little longer. So I couldn't imagine. So mine must have just healed and then they took the tube out. But if you take the tube out, wouldn't the hole be there and you would still be like not breathing? I have questions. I need to talk to a doctor. There are a couple, Glenn. They're just not here tonight. We have I love pink sunflowers. That's so cute. Double knee replacement twice in 2 years. Oh my gosh. That's too much. The knees too. I can't handle the knees. The knees, the back, and now the lung, I guess. Oh, thanks, Monchichi. Aren't they cute? Mia's even more stretched out. She's adorable. She's adorbs. But I think I'm going to jump off here. Vince is not even home yet. That's why I've just been hanging out. Oh, yours is a birth defect and spontaneously collapsed. Oh my gosh. Mine kind of did that. It wasn't like spontaneous, but I had broken ribs. So I had like 3 broken ribs, a lacerated spleen on this side. And they were trying to get me to cough for some God knows reason. I don't know why, but they wanted me to cough. And that's what I was doing. I was going like it. I couldn't get anything out because I couldn't breathe. Like it was hurting. And I looked at my mom and I said, this hurts. I don't want to do it again. Like, and that's not my attitude when it comes to like, I'm the best little patient ever. I'm just like, whatever you need to do, whatever. And my mom was like, just try one more time, honey. Like, because she was trying to help the nurse out. And when I did it, I just felt instant pain and I couldn't breathe. And I don't remember a lot after that. I think they took me right into surgery because I was in the ICU when it happened. I think they just took me right back and put the chest tube in. You too, Lee. Stay warm. Wow, both within 2 years. That's crazy. Bless everybody with the metal. Look at all of us with all this metal. And my roommate, she was like 60 something, maybe closer to 70, and she had metal put in her back. Oh my goodness. Me and her became friends because our rooms were just separated with curtains. And it was like a huge room, and it was me and her, and she was so sweet. And I think she might live near Piketon actually, but she was a really sweet lady. And she showed me. She was like, when the nurse was in one day, she's like, you can pull the curtain open and show her, because that's how close we got. You know, we were showing each other our injuries, and she had staples all down her back from the surgery she had. I was like, at 7 or like almost 70 years old, she said she felt great. Chest tubes are horrible. When they take them out, it hurts too. Like I remember I have a teddy bear. I don't know where I put him, but he's the hospital bear. That's his name. Someone got me a Build-A-Bear, and it's just plain. It has no clothes on it, but it has a little heart inside it. It was so cute. So I would hold it there like on my ribs, and I would sleep like with a lot of pressure. And that helped. So thank you, Lauren. This was a fun live. And stay safe and warm, everybody. Yes. I'm going to jump off here. I wish I could do my live tomorrow during the day in here, but we might just move it over to the other room. That's what I would just do. Actually, it'll be later in the day because I have to go to physical therapy tomorrow. I just remembered that. So I should jump off here and go to bed. Damn. I forgot about that. Ain't that something? I got to go and work out tomorrow. And he works me out. He's not messing around. He has an Australian accent though, so that kind of helps. I like hearing his accent. But yeah, no, like when I go, it's a new training facility for like the sports teams for Ohio State, and it's brand new. It just opened in September, and so they have state of the art everything, and it's just like it's amazing. But like he had me pulling this thing. It looked like it had four wheels on it. It looked like a mini it looked like the shell kind of a four-wheeler. Like it had like this body to it, and it's heavy. And he had me push it on my tiptoes, which was fine. I could do that all day, whatever. But then he had me pulling it and holding back on my heels. I was like, I can feel that. So I'm gonna go work out hard tomorrow. I need to. I haven't worked out the last like 4 days, so I better get my butt there. But thank you guys all for being here. Thanks for talking to me after the live. I do appreciate it. I like our time after the live to just chit chat and talk about whatever. Like I said, I will be putting stuff on the second channel, Unfiltered with Tanya. So make sure you're subscribed. I'll make sure. I think the link should be dropped by now through Nightbot. He's been Nightbotting it up tonight. So thank you guys so much for being here. I'm going to text Vincent and ask him if he wants to bring me some food home. Did I eat? Yeah, I did eat. I'm hungry again. Oh, well, I'm hungry again. All right. See you guys later. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We gonna light it up now. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt.